All right. Well, Hyphalyte answered, well, I think I'll take my chances with YouTube. And first I'm like, well, I don't want him to think I'm butthurt about that. It's fine, people. It's not for everybody. I just need a critical mass. But then I was thinking, too, that the problem is that, yeah, I mean, the ideal thing is if everybody I talk to, in 1 degree of separation, everybody I don't know that Hyphalyte talks to, or that Gary talks to, or that Fred talks to, if we all did it, we'd have a critical mass. So, and I'm not a big promoter on things. I'd like to say, hey, do your own thing then. But this is something, yeah, where I'm asking people to come together. So I thought it would be bigger of me to go ahead and try to convince Hyphalyte. But on the other hand, it's like no big deal if you, well, I'm still not convinced. That would be fine. I expect that. And that would be okay. Really what I'm saying is thank you for giving me a platform. Because I know a little bit about you, so I can talk specifically to you. It gives me a particular angle in on the thing. Now, one thing is, it's not just that people are actually hassled by the problems with fair use. Okay, they could be. They could be. You've used my audio and stuff. Now, obviously, you have the right to use my audio if you are interjecting and everything. But if I made a flagging campaign against you, YouTube wouldn't respect that. So you're not actually threatened because you're doing it to me, and I'm into it. I see it the right way. And also, you don't do that much of it. And also, maybe you haven't argued against somebody that switches this, like okay with it, and then realizes I can use it against them. Maybe like me, you stay away from those people, not because you're afraid of being flagged, but because it's like they're not really the best people to talk to anyway. It's like once you see they're that kind of person, it's like, oh, well, that goes along with other things that make them not that useful to talk to. But it's still out there. We've lost Fred. I mean, Greytex right now is his account is flagged. Now, at the most, that video would be flagged. On our server, the video would be flagged. At most, while a due process that he could log into in his account and see exactly what state it's in was going on, he wouldn't be cut out of the whole conversation stuff for that kind of a violation. It would take much, much, much more than that to cause an account to be frozen while your due process went through. And most likely we would err when we could on the side of leaving things up while the due process went on. Maybe you don't get along, don't get along with Greytex, but it doesn't really matter, right? It goes both ways. If you step over the line sometime with me, not that you would, but or I'm butthurt, and so I make a loud noise at YouTube, which they'll react to. It would go the same way. Your whole account shouldn't be shut. Even if I was right and you stepped over the lines. By the way, of course, I'd never do that. But it should just be that video. It should just be a certain process. Gary is totally right if you've seen Gary talk about the problem with YouTube is by being advertisement based. What they have to maximize is a site that attracts people stupid enough to click on adverts. They've done studies on who clicks on those adverts. They're never going to suit us really when that is what they have to go for. And it's fine that they go for that. That's fine. There's a lot of those people. They have to make money. Let's just face facts. Free market in this case. But we need some place because there is no public place. There really ought to be a government-run place that your taxes are able to cover it or something. I mean, I believe that. There should just... Or maybe there shouldn't. Whichever there isn't. And we can simulate such a place with what I hope is a nominal fee. Now, the nominal fee is important to, one, not need advertisement revenue. And two, just to create some, like thinking of it as physics, some friction in the system. A guy's not going to make 200 sock accounts to post stupid videos from if they cost $1 a month. He might get one. He might get 5. If he does get 100, then he's going to be subsidized. He can't keep up with the bandwidth he's paid for, and everybody else is going to get to split that. So I think there's certain natural things that work really well with this. And, I also think that, maybe you're not at the point where you see that, but I do think it's just a matter of time. I've seen it, and I've also managed to not really have to run into it too much. but it's annoying. There's a chill. The framing is inappropriate. The kind of graph paper we're supposed to draw our charts on is all skewed and weird. The lines aren't straight. It leads to distortions. It's hard to use. It's not designed for us. So my real approach here is that I'm going to put up an engineering plan that's going to show that, unless I'm totally lying about what I do, it'll all be very, very doable. I mean, I'm totally prepared to act on this like right away, and I'm going to have months until I actually have to, and we can discuss things. Like I'm going to put up PDFs of a site where I got a bunch of quotes, the kind of machines. And I'll look elsewhere for cheaper versions of them and stuff. But, to give people an idea, and they can give me feedback and even say, hey, you don't need that, or maybe you need this better. And that for everything, for every element of the money that would go into it. So, this platform in the long run, yeah, I think that it will attract the kind of people that actually want to have public dialogue. It will not attract the total audience trolls like Onision and stuff, but it will attract the philosophy trolls, and that's just the way that it's going to go. We're going to have structured conversation features to help address that, and there's ways that they aren't going to make 50 accounts, and it'll just end up being them getting to have their say too. And it'll be much better than YouTube. And I can diagram it. It's years and years of experience, but it's also something you kind of have to come to yourself. Like maybe if you talk to Fred a lot, you'd be like, oh, that sucks a little bit. Oh, and then this guy, oh, that sucks a little bit. It sucks a little bit over years and years, and ends up sucking a lot. All right, cheers. Thanks for even considering it to give me feedback. I don't mind if you're not going to be into it right away. Bye.